Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back on the Uncle Sharma channel into LYON 2 here for a pre-season friendly match reaction. I missed the match live yesterday, but I got to rewatch it this morning. So in today's episode, I'm just gonna go through my thoughts and feelings about this match, and of course at the end, get your thoughts and feelings about this particular friendly. So let's start off with the lineup, the usual 3-5-2, but this is probably closest that we've got to what our ideal into starting 11 is for this upcoming season, with Onana in goal rather than Handanovic. And the only two guys that we would say, the starters that are missing in this lineup was Skriniar for D'Ambrosio and Gosens for Di Marco. And actually, it was good to see Di Marco as the starting left wing back. It was we've talked about it on this channel a few times that at some point last season, I think it was the Shakhtar away match in the Champions League. Since that match, we probably never saw Di Marco as the left wing back in this team anymore. He primarily only played as a left centre back or as a substitute to Bastoni. So it was good to actually see him playing as a left wing back, and he is clearly an option for that position. Lazaro is now gone, so it means that him, Darmian, Gosens should be the options for that left hand side. And I think he gave some good signs. I think he got up and down well. We know he doesn't have the progression speed, he doesn't have the athleticism to cover the whole pitch up and down for the whole 90 minutes. Even when he used to start, he didn't finish the full 90 minutes. He doesn't seem to have the full 90 minutes in his legs, but I saw some good signs, especially as usual going forward. Most of the dangerous attacks came from his side, first half and second half. His lovely left foot always causes trouble. He got the assist for Lukaku's goal, but he created other chances that one where Lautaro should have definitely scored. And yeah, in general, I just liked his impact as always. But of course, defensively, once we're up the pitch, he just struggles to kind of make up the ground. And this is where, the signs are, again, this is pre-season friendly. I'm not looking too much into it. I see too many people looking way too deep into it. If I look back at previous pre-season campaigns, even under Mourinho, the Triplete season, or under Conte, like there was matches where plenty of matches in preseason where we've looked awful. So there's no point looking into the performances and the results of these games. But on the counter attack, we still look quite fragile once we're caught up high up the pitch. And this was an issue last season as well. We do look very fragile. Both the goals we conceded off counter attacks, and yeah, that's where Di Marco, Bastoni, all these guys kind of struggle to get back into the game, back into defense, back into the defensive line. And I think most of the attacks we received were from that left hand side, so that kind of shows that maybe they were either targeting Di Marco, they were just kind of stronger on that right hand side. In terms of other players that stood out to me, Barella is looking good this pre-season. And before the game even began, actually, I tweeted out my early season kind of prediction. I think Barella's going to be our player of the season. That's my feeling. That's my prediction. And, I was quite critical of Barella last season, even though he had an amazing season in terms of numbers. The amount of assists was 12, 13 assists and 4 goals, like a great season in terms of output. But I just felt like, similar to Lautaro, if you look past the numbers, I didn't think he had that great of a season. But we knew the reasons, the burnout probably from the Euros and the last 2 years constantly playing. But this season, he's finally had a rest, and he's going to have a rest in the middle of the season as well because of Italy not being at the World Cup, unfortunately. But I just seem to see a fresher Barella right now, and I just feel like this could be the season where he finally takes a step up in terms of goal scoring as well. That's where we're waiting for him to take that. Like, he's already a world-class player, but he just has that little extra step to take if he starts adding a few more goals to his game. This guy is a top level jugador. And yeah, the goal today, very well created by Lautaro, receiving from Dumfries. Little toe poke pass through to Barella, and great finish. I've never seen Barella being that ice cool in front of goal. So hopefully that's something that he's worked on, and hope to see more of that in the coming season. Brozovic also looks like he's back to his level. Like, you can see the juice in the legs now is starting to get there. The last few games, you just see their legs are heavy, but today or yesterday, the players looked a little bit more fresh. There was a lot more zippiness in their movements. Brozovic, there's no point pressing him when he's on form like that. Hakan is the one that's worrying me this preseason. He's not really impressed in any of the matches. Every transition, he kind of kills it. Like he always takes like a heavy touch that ruins the transition or the counter attack. He really needs to work on that, like not even preseason, like he used to do that last season as well. Because we are a team that clearly is going to work more on the transitions. We've seen since Lukaku's come again in this match, there was 2 or 3 attacks on the counter attack in the transition where we're just so much more dangerous now thanks to Lukaku. Dumfries is another one who wasn't particularly great today, but I'm not going to look into it, as I keep saying. But yeah, second half especially, he made 2. There was a period of 4 or 5 minutes where he just, every time he touched the ball, it like went out for a throw in, or he got the wrong pass or the bad touch. Players like him, Lukaku, Gagliardini, De Vrij, Skriniar, like these heavier physique players, they will take longer to get into full shape. But Lukaku, even though you probably would say he's at 70-80% of his full fitness, or like, you know, peak Lukaku fitness, he's still causing massive issues and havoc in the opposition area. Onana starting was very good to see. Made a great save on Onana, especially in the second half. You know, that was an amazing reflex save. Tipped it onto the crossbar. Made one mistake with his feet where he passed it straight to a Lyon player. But, you know, I'm expecting some of these mistakes. If he starts, I'm expecting that we might even concede a goal in the season from an Onana passing mistake, because he's so almost overconfident on the ball at times, because he is really good on the ball. I would say on the ball, he's probably a top 5 goalkeeper in Europe, just with his feet. But of course, we need to see whether he gets back to his old levels in terms of goalkeeping, like straight up goalkeeping. But I'm liking the signs I'm seeing, and hopefully Inzaghi is also seeing this as well. Second half, of course, the substitute galore came on, and Skriniar. When Skriniar came on, guys, how good was that? He was received as a, you know, superstar player. He was the one who got a big ovation as he came on as a substitute. I hope he heard that. I hope he, you know, absorbs that, understands that he's not going to get this type of love anywhere else, especially not in Paris or wherever, Chelsea, London. Like, Inter fans love Skriniar, and I hope, you know, at the end of this transfer market, he ends up staying. And yeah, he looked good once he came on as well. Matty Dams always looks good. Aslani looked good. Mkhitaryan was actually, this probably was the best cameo appearance from him up until now. He's been quite lackluster, but then he also made a couple of mistakes. Like he's we need to see a little bit more from Mkhitaryan, like some signs of life, but there was a couple of nice touches from Mickey. Gosens still looks a bit off the pace in terms of his condition and his peak fitness. As we said, you know, he just came back from his muscular fatigue. A couple of, you know, clunky touches as well. As I keep saying, I don't know if him and Dumfries really are the optimum wing backs to have, but I think let's just give Robin some time. I think he will be dangerous, and I think he will put up some numbers this season for sure. One thing I have to point out is the fact that we didn't see Casadei coming on. I mean, he's been heavily linked with Chelsea recently. Apparently they've even tabled a formal official offer around 7 to 8 million for Casadei, a guy who's not even made a senior appearance in our official first team appearance. And then, you know, we've got this interest, and you don't even play the guy. You know, you bring Gagliardini on. Gagliardini was pretty clunky and bad as usual when he came on. Like, just give the guy, like, this is, when else are you going to give the guy time? Like, even if you loan him out, okay, that's fine, but this is the time that you can see, look, he's already got a 7-8 million value according to Chelsea, and he's not even played a minute for us. If you're struggling financially, play some of these guys, and if they do well, the value goes up even further. You need to start telling Inzaghi to give more time to these. Like Zanotti didn't get any time, Fontana Rosa didn't get any time. So that was just the kind of one point that I just felt a little bit annoyed by. Even Corda's got some minutes at the end, like a 10-15 minutes at the end when he came on for Onana. Correa and Jack obviously finished the match, and yeah, they were kind of lackluster as well. But in general, as I said, this preseason, no one's really stood out to me, to be honest. I think if we have to pick like a standout player from this preseason, probably I would give it to like Aslani. I think even today when he came on, yesterday, came on always with some personality, always demanding the ball, always creating some sort of danger. I think he's probably the winner of this preseason, to be honest. And one last thing, I feel like we haven't really seen peak or any type of sign of Limone-ball up until now, and it's definitely not Limoncello-ball, you know, peak Inzaghi football of nice passages of play, long passages of play, of passing, interchanging positions and all that kind of stuff. So that's been disappointing this preseason, that we've not really seen that type of play. I mean, we saw it against the weak teams, but as soon as we were playing these kind of more, you know, higher tier teams, we've not seen any that type. Like some of the goals yesterday were decent, but nothing particularly special. We're not really seeing much new tactical additions either. We've pretty much seen more of the same as we did last year. With the addition of Lukaku, Lautaro, obviously, it just looks pretty much like Conte's team. One thing I'm interested to see is whether Inzaghi wants to continue with a higher line or he wants to bring it back, because I think now that we have Lukaku with Dumfries, Bellanova, let's see how Gosens does. But now we finally have the option to come a little bit deeper, like we did under Conte. Maybe you know, absorb a bit of pressure and counter-attack a little bit more. So I want to see how Inzaghi approaches that as we go on into the season. I think the first game against Lecce, for sure, we will be trying to dominate possession, keep a high line. But I want to see how, what is Inzaghi's plan with now that he has Lukaku, because it looks like at the moment it looks very similar to how we played under Conte in the transitions, and how Lukaku and Lautaro kind of exchanging between each other. But 2-2, not much else to talk about. Next match and the final one is against Villarreal, so I'm expecting some more Limone-ball, at least in that one, more signs of life, especially from our better players. But you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below, of course, as always, and make sure you leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Join the channel membership if you want to support the channel. There's something coming. There will be a prize coming for channel members. I'm going to do a draw with a little surprise coming up for channel members, because I've never actually really rewarded the channel members that support the channel up until now, but I want to do something to at least reward them. But keep a lookout for that. Keep a lookout on the channel for the upcoming Inter related and Serie A related content. As always, guys, ciao ragazzi, forza Inter.